Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us for CMB's webinar. We're glad you are here. We know that this is such a busy season for you, and we are thrilled that you've joined us, that you've pushed pause on all the things that you're doing to spend some time with us today. We've got great things in store for you. We hope and pray that you really just walk away refreshed during such a crazy season, right? So thank you for making time for us. We're going to dive in with our friend John Wood, our communication and member services manager, and going to share a little bit about what he's got in the hopper here. Hey, John.
Hey, Michelle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us today as well. So excited. You may have heard 2026 memberships are available now. And I'm so pumped about that. But before we talk about 2026, I've got to say thank you for 2025. If you are a CMB member, every single year, it's our hope and our prayer that you feel poured into, you feel it's beneficial to be a part of this community. But what you may not think about or realize is that you're also giving back. When you become a CMB member, it's not just about what you're getting, it's about what you're giving as well. And because of your membership, last year able to support the most students ever attending CMB University, so helping to grow young professionals. You also supported mentoring efforts to support our industry leaders as they continue to help us all take that next step forward. You offered encouragement, you collaborated on ideas, and you help create a community where each person feels appreciated and seen because you actually get what that person is going through. So thank you for your part in this incredible story that God is writing. And I know the next chapter, 2026, is going to be even better. So, as I said, 2026 memberships are available now. You can become a gold member for $14.99 or a silver at $3.19. But here's the thing, I want you to know that when you become a member, you're going to help write this next story. So if you want to become a member today, that'd be amazing. Matter of fact, I've heard of already a couple of people this week. They had a few dollars left in that 2025 budget. They went ahead and took care of their 2026 membership, which feels really good. Let's be real. This is a busy season. If you could knock that off the list and just head into the new year ready to go, how sweet is that? So if you want more information about how to become a member, if you want to go ahead and sign up today, you can find it at cmbonline.org/membership. You can also email me if you have any questions, John, I spell it funny, Jon at cmbonline.org. Cannot wait to have you as a member next year. All right, Michelle, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
John, I'm sorry that you didn't get the memo about the hat. So next time.
It's because I let you borrow it. You never get sent it back. Next year, next
Oh,
year.
that's right. Well, thanks, John. Without further ado, I'm going to invite the one and only Beth Bacall to join us. Beth, we are so grateful for your heart for women in radio and how you share your wisdom and your talents and experience with us all. And so she has put together an amazing webinar for us. So take it away, Beth. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. You look super cute with your little Santa Claus headband. Hi, I am Beth Bacall. Welcome to this CMB webinar featuring the women in radio, a few of them, and the women behind the music that we get to play on our format. And I do thank you. I know it's a busy season on and off the air. So many Christmas shows. I just went and saw Ann Wilson's Christmas show and for King and Country's Christmas show. They were amazing. Our listeners have just so many connection points for us. And as I coach talent, we talk about the statement, keeping Christ in Christmas. And I very much have contemplated that because I feel like Christ is Christmas and we represent Christmas and we represent Christ. So Christ is Christmas, and that is what we're celebrating, especially with some extra special women today that have taken time out of this busy season to spend time with y'all. It really is my hope that as you meet them, hear their stories, here's what's happening in their life with their music, with the positions that they hold on the air, off the air, in their stations, with their teams, that you'll get content for whatever department you work in, whether it's on air content, behind the scenes content. They are all brilliant. Everybody brings something super special. I know you're going to get a lot out of it. We're going to start with well, first, last night, another Christmas show was happening at Passion City Church. It's called The Grove. It is an all women's event that Shelley Gaglio started years ago, and it was the Christmas Grove last night. However, I think it was about, she'll update me in a second. 10 or 11 years ago. The Grove was taking place during the month of May outside in Piedmont Park. And there was going to be a special singer singing who was also very, very pregnant, who made a trip to come and see us at the Fish before she went on stage to sing. She's going to tell us which baby she was pregnant with then because she's had a couple since. We have Ellie Holcomb with us here today. Ellie, you remember when that was happening? What baby was that? There she is at her church. Look how cute she is in blue. Hi.
I know I've got my ski sweater on. My headgear got taken by my daughter for Christmas week. Spirit week. It's so good to be here. That was my second baby, Huck, and man, that was a hot one. You know, when you're great. He was a July baby, so I was literally. I don't think I could fly to that show. I had to drive. He wouldn't let me.
Yeah. There's so much behind everything we do. And now you have three children, and you are at your church, probably preparing for something Christmassy there, as well as what you do in the house.
That's right. Yeah, I'm in the parish hall today, which is great. There's lots of room
It's
down.
y'all got to just chat GPT Ellie Holcomb's bio and just take a few minutes to really dive into everything you've brought us. I think lullabies when I think about you. I think about the children's programming and books that you have blessed us with, and so much great music. You are from a musical family, so of course that makes sense. But when we think about the theme that we are going to present today for this CMB webinar with the women, the theme is a thrill of hope. A thrill of hope. And that's, you can actually find that in some Bible verses per se, but it's really from a song. And I would love you to tap into that for us.
Absolutely. Well, one, I'm so glad to be here with all of you. I love you. Hugs from afar. I call radio stations hope dispensaries, and I just thank you for what you do every day to program, to be on the air, to be in prayer for your listeners, and then for those who haven't even tuned in yet, who might stumble across a message of hope on the radio as they're driving in the right song at the right time or the right message. It's so amazing to me that I get to be any part of this community of sisters and brothers declaring the good news of Jesus. So thank you for what you do, first of all. A thrill of hope to me, my favorite Christmas song is "Oh Holy Night." I get to perform that a lot with my husband every Christmas, and it's one of my favorite things. And I think about this story of Jesus and how everybody was expecting this king, this conqueror who was going to take over Rome. And then there's 400 years of silence between the Old Testament and then the New Testament. And we hear a thrill of hope in the sound of a baby's cry. And I love Mary, and I love the story of how God didn't come, conquering. He came as an infant. And when I think about, I've got three kids, like you mentioned, Beth, and Drew was so nervous actually when we had our first baby, Emmy Lou. He gets a little squeamish, and I was like, well, I'll be delivering, so you're probably going to be fine. And but he did so great in the delivery. And afterwards, he was holding our little girl just with this look of awe and wonder over his face. And I said, babes, what was that experience like for you? And he just looked at me, he was smiling at her, and he looked at me and he goes, primal. And I was like, I love that. But I love the thrill of hope that God isn't out to get us. He's out to draw us near. And that he entered into the world. He sent his son into the world in a primal, humble, quiet way, so that we could know, into this broken, weary world, so that we could know that our hope is not grounded in just, oh, I hope it'll be okay one day. Our hope is grounded in the person of Jesus, and ultimately in the empty grave that he walked out of. So any broken thing we've been through, any dark season that we're walking through, he has been there and he has moved through it. And if it's not okay, it's not the end of the story. And that is the thrill of hope of the Christmas story, the primal hope embodied in the man-child of Christ held in the arms of a mother. And so I just love that the message of Christmas comes through women. And I love that we're women here gathering, because I believe that God made us as women to carry things, not just children on our hips or in our bellies, not just children, but to carry people's hopes and sorrows and joys, and then to carry the message in an empathetic mothering. We represent the mother heart of God, and what a gift that I get to call you my sisters, and that we get to do that together.
Mm-mm-mm. Wow, that is an amazing way to start this off. You might have to do a broken and beautiful part two.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes. You know what else? You were talking about how you, specifically in this Christmas season, you look for light. You look for the light and you look for light.
That's right. I honestly, y'all, I don't know. I wake up a lot of mornings. I don't know how y'all are doing right now, but just with the onslaught of information, and you get all the bad news right on your phone as soon as you just even go to turn off your alarm. And I have woken up heavy a lot of days. And I love that Jesus is called the light of the world. And I don't always get up early enough to have a ton of time in the morning, So many times my like quiet time is interrupted by tiny little feet coming down the stairs who are hungry, mama. They're saying, Mom, I'm hungry. So I'm like, oh, okay. So if I don't have time, I really try to begin my days, whether I have an hour or a breath with a cup of coffee, to find the light. And I literally will hold my hands up to it and just scoop it down to my face
Mm.
and remember that God is right here. He's right here. And then I scoop it down into my heart to remember that we get to carry the good news of the nearness of God everywhere that we go. And it has been a really grounding thing for me. Even sometimes I'll wake up in the morning when it's still dark and I just face where I know in my house the sun's gonna rise. And I'm like, it's coming. As sure as the sun will rise,
Mm.
he will appear. Thanks be to God.
It's really neat because I can see the women backstage of this Zoom that are about to come on screen with you doing, looking for the light, looking for the light. In fact, let's say hi to Brandy Reinhardt. She is in St. Louis. She's representing Boost Radio, Joy FM, and soon to be Worship One on the air. She is the director. Look at her scooping. She's the director of strategic partnerships. I don't know if you were at the CMB summit in Minneapolis. I had never connected with Brandy before. What I saw her do on stage and the listener experiences that she explained they give at the Joy FM and how she's behind every single detail was so, so impressive. I'm so grateful that you took some time to be with us today. A little bit about Brandy. She is a mother, she's two teenagers. It's neat how she's super intentional at Christmas about the experiences that they have as a family of four. But you got in the seat you're in now after 7 interviews.
I did. Hi, everybody. I am so not loving following Ellie. That was amazing. Oh my gosh. But yes, I was from the secular world and didn't quite understand. Now that I'm on the other side, I understand why, great discernment, first of all, that this ministry takes in hiring people. And yeah, and it took a minute for both sides to really feel comfortable together. And in the meantime of these interviews, I ended up actually, my job was eliminated at the job that I was at a local TV station here, right in the middle of the interviews. And I remember at one time saying, I'm going. I remember at one time saying, man, will I go? Will I go and just do something so new? And God ensured, and my life has been changed for the better.
Mm, mm.
So worth those 7 interviews. And I hope they still keep me, so yay.
Well, you've got the clothes to go with it. She's wearing her Santa cape, and then do you have the picture of what you're going to wear to your company Christmas party?
Oh,
Maybe you could
sure.
share
Hold
that.
on. I'll show
She's so
you.
fun. You've got to follow her on Instagram. In fact, she just has all these great details behind the legacy that Boost and Joy and their new I Worship station is about to have. See, she's going to wear a blown up gingerbread man to her station Christmas party. So she's that person at the radio station. So I'm excited to hear what you'd like to share when it comes to our theme, the thrill of hope.
Yes. And yeah, I love how Ellie was like at the end of it and like just like in the Advent season as we're preparing, for his birth, like I when I heard that, I was like, I think I'm like 2 steps ahead just in the season of waiting and longing. And when we take this time as we get closer, to his birth, that the anticipation that he will be here, that he is here for us, that he is here to save us. And just the longing I have in my heart, I'm just in this little season of like, Lord, please make things be quiet so I can hear you. And please help me see and ensure that you're leading my life and my kids' life. Two teenagers, y'all, new experiences. I long kind of for babies and diapers and poop to clean up because the teenage poop is like big and not literal, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, so yeah, just I long to remember that he was sent here for us to save us, to forgive us, to lead us. And that's where I am when I think of the thrill of hope that is thrilling to know. And I'm in that season of longing before that, we get to experience that Christmas story together.
Thank you, Brandy. That's awesome. Well, you're going to have a little competition in the costume department. We're going to take a little trip
Yes.
to Tyler, Texas, and say hello to Carrie Parsons. She does mornings. She's the assistant program director at KVNE, and also Yvette Zavarse from Fusion. We've got some little elves about to turn on their camera and say hi. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay, I met Carrie before CMB was ever CMB. In fact, when I first met her, she was telling me how she was at KVNE. She's been there, what, 17 years doing mornings? Is that right?
Yeah, I've been here for 26 years and mornings with Mike for 17. Yeah, 17
And
plus.
when I met her, she's like, "Well, I work at KVNE. I do mornings. I have a dry cleaning drop off in the middle of town. My husband's the mayor. Oh, and I have a peanut butter company called Nutty's Peanut Butter. Rachel Ray featured her peanut butter in a magazine one year. She provides all the school lunches for the schools in her area, and she's got this great peanut butter company. I love it. You just will get a spoon and not stop eating it. But she's this morning show star. She programs a radio station." And I'm always curious, like, I think she needs to write a book on how she doesn't get mono or how to multitask for real. And
I've
you're
never had
such
mono,
such I'm surprised, but I'm
just for
glad.
the record.
Thrill of hope, Carrie, thrill of hope. Thanks for being here in between all of the things. And your
Yeah,
mom's
thank
been
you.
sick.
Thank you for having me. It's great so far. And I think about that verse that we have as part of our theme. We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure. And I think about an anchor and how it steadies everything. An anchor is unshakable. And as our lives, move around, sometimes like a boat, up and down and back and forth, we have that hope that is unshakable. And I need that right now in my life. I'm sure you do too. It's been a season with my mom and her health,
Mhm.
and there are good times and bad times in that. And I just need to be reminded that we have this unshakable hope, and that God is holding us through it all.
Amen. Amen. You've got some interesting little vehicles and modes of transportation in your story because you've got a story about a yellow bike that made a difference in your life one Christmas.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I was a little girl, my dad made bicycles for my brother and me, and mine was a yellow bicycle. So he took bicycle parts and put them together to make a bike. And uh, Christmas Day, I was so excited to get that bike. I'm riding down the street in that bike on that bike, and then all of a sudden the front wheel just pops off of it, because my dad must not have tightened it enough. And I didn't care because I was so excited to get that bike. But just later, as an adult, as a mom, looking back at the sacrifices that my dad made, staying up late at night, putting those parts together, probably not even knowing what he was doing. Obviously not, because he didn't tighten it, but that meant so much to me, that he took the time to do that. It was a very special gift. It's a very special memory to me. Yeah.
Uh, you're still talking about it,
Yeah.
obviously. That's so
Yeah.
great. And Yvette Savarse, you have got such a special story at your radio station. She handles the community engagement and the marketing and part of the morning show on Fusion. It is a all Spanish format radio station. Your team is incredible, incredible, incredible. And you are, because seriously, God solely used you. You had you were on the board of directors. You had just an idea. You just had a thought. Let's do a Spanish station. You had no people, no nothing. What, share that story, how God just used you, and now you've got this incredible fusion that blesses so many.
Well, Fusion, it's an answered prayer for many of us that came, and we were praying to have a Christian radio station in the language of our heart, Spanish. And we were, many of us, we were here, or we are here with no family, and we weren't in a need of a place or to have something that we were able to praise and worship the Lord in our language. So we were praying for a long time, and this was in the heart of many of the people on the board. As you said, I was part of the board for 6 years before Fusion was launched. And we were planning, we were researching, we were studying the possibilities of having this radio station, and of course we were praying a lot. And one day God spoke to Troy Krichbaum, our president, and he heard this phrase that says, time is short, people need Jesus. Mm-hmm. And he thought about the Hispanic community. I mean, the fastest growing community in the US. And he said, we need to do something, because also we needed to have this instrument, this tool, to be able to tell others about Jesus and to point them to the Lord. And after that, it was amazing to see how God provided everything that we needed. I mean, the signals. We found signals on sale. And then he provided financially to be able to acquire those signals. And then he provided the people that it was going to work there. But he provided a very diverse team. The first of us that were part of Fusion, we were from different countries. Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, and of course, Mexico. And he provided, our team is from different generations, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. And that's how he formed this team that it's been in Fusion since January 2020. We're about to have our 6th anniversary. And it's been amazing to see also how, I mean, God's plans are always bigger and better, larger than our own plans, because 2 years after started here in Tyler, Texas, he provided it for us to be able to expand to Shreveport, Louisiana, and then to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And it's been a blessing. And now we're happy to be ready and prepared for February, when we are going to start airing in Las Vegas, in Southern California, and Utah. So it's been amazing to see God's heart to reach Hispanics and to reach, its people. So we've been happy and amazed to see his hands and to see his guidance, his provision, and his willingness to bring hope to the life of many.
You could really write a book, and maybe you will, about all of the ways God used you specifically for this radio station. Which is the story I'm thinking about it? Maybe it was Eddie. Didn't you just need didn't you need talent, and you just weren't sure how you were even going to get a talent, and somebody walked in and all of a sudden that's the talent. Didn't that happen to you?
Yes, yeah, definitely. He was bringing the people that he wanted to add. And it's been amazing, because not only, as I say, not only the different generations or the different nationalities, but also the different talents to conform a group. We started with 4, and now we are 6, and we all have, different strength to be able to add to this team.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's a great happening. Yvette is also a breast cancer survivor. Thank you, God, for that.
Amen.
And what's happening on Friday, Yvette? She's not even supposed to be working today. What's happening on Friday?
Yes, my daughter is getting married. So
Women can do
After this,
anything.
I'm gonna get my pedicure and manicure and all that. So I'm in that stage. So we're
Crazy.
happy. Uh-huh.
That is so good. Ellie, it's amazing how much women can do, how many things they can retain, how many things they do. It's fantastic. Ellie Holcomb, I know that Christmas breakfast happens at your house, but let's talk about traditions. Let's talk about traditions. You write for children, you sing for everyone. In your house, I love how Carrie shared, just the giftings that she remembers. But in your house, let's talk tradition. What happens?
Yeah, I love that. I just have to say, I'm huge fans of all of y'all. This is so fun. I'm like that you're talking, and I'm like, this sounds like the kingdom of heaven coming.
Mm.
I just love that you gave a surrendered yes to what you felt like God was putting on your heart. And then carry that story about the yellow bike that your dad built. And maybe he didn't even know really how to build it, but because he loved you, he got all the parts together. And I'm like, well, that sounds like exactly like what you're doing. And what all of you are doing is just showing up and putting gifts together to give the gift of the gospel. So thank you for that. One of my favorite traditions at our house that my kids, my oldest daughter is 13. So Brandy, I'm with you in the teen years. Lord be near, and he is. But she still, even as a 13-year-old, was like, Mom, we have to do our ornaments. So if y'all are familiar, there's a beautiful book called the Jesus Storybook Bible by Sally Lloyd Jones. Every story whispers his name, and it takes all the stories you hear in Sunday school, Old Testament and New, and ties each one to the person of Jesus. And so the tradition in our family has, she didn't mean to do this, but there's 25 stories until you get to sort of the culmination of the Christmas story. And every year we read through each of those. And I found a little blog somewhere and that had a PDF for ornaments that we print out and color and put on a paper tree on our bathroom door, which is a little weird, but it has been it's been the way that like my children, what a gift that we get to hand people the hope and the mystery and the beauty of God. And especially this season, I think as people are tuning in, maybe just to hear Christmas music, and then they stumble across this message of hope, what they think is just a, oh, Christmas song. I just think it is people's hearts are tender this time of year to hear the good news. And so, and that has been the case for my children. I think all three of my kids during this season, it has been when they have wanted to meet the Lord. And so the fact that they still want to remember the story, because that's our work, right? Is to remember who we belong to and where we came from, and that we get to be a part of the story of the kingdom coming and his will being done here on earth as it is in heaven. And so I'm so grateful for that tradition in our family.
Aren't the wise men a part of another story in your house?
Oh, yes, y'all. This is called the manger mission. And you know how there's like the elf on the shelf? We've never done that. And I love all the fun Christmas stuff, but sometimes it's hard, the kids get all the Santa and the elves and all the Frosty Rudolph stuff. And that's all fun and imaginative and great. But there is this book called The Manger Mission, and it has a nativity scene. And so literally we were a couple days late doing this. So just this past week, my little 7-year-old pulled him out and he's like, Mom. So we take the three wise men and we put them in the furthest away spot in the house. And every day they move the wise men. I have 3 kids, so it's great. They each get a wise man, and they move them a little bit closer to baby Jesus. So Christmas morning, they sit on the stairs, and we come down, and before we go look at the gifts, they like take the wise men and put them right in front of baby Jesus. And it has been such a simple way as a mom with young kids, and then as they get older too, of just bringing the mystery and the beauty of the story of Jesus back into the heart of the Christmas story. So
Yeah,
sweet.
so precious. Such a gift that we get to do this. And can't we even just share the stories of Ellie on the air about what's happening in her house and bless our listeners in that way? And Brandy, you've got like a triple, quadruple responsibility. Brandy, you've got your house to think about and the traditions that you're creating. Everything you're creating for your radio stations, people are remembering and memories are being made with every single song you play and the things that you say. However, Brandy, I want to take it back to you from before you got into radio, because there's a tradition in your family that involves your grandma in a trailer and some Christmas cookies.
Yeah, when asked, like just one of my biggest Christmas memories is my granny lived with her sister, kind of south of St. Louis in a trailer. And around Christmas time, they would cook like the big Christmas cookie tins, like old school. They would keep them and they would fill them with like 20 different kind of cookies. And so in my great aunt's bedroom window of her little trailer in the Christmas time would be lined with all of these tins filled with cookies. And my sister and I still talk about like tiptoeing back there and like looking through and quietly lifting the top just to see which ones we could taste. And I know that she and I both cook a lot of those Christmas cookies now for our own families, and just there's just a lot of memories. We spent a lot of time there in that little trailer with my granny and her sister. So that this warms my heart every year at this time.
And what about inside your house with your kids? Are you the Christmas cookie baker or the Christmas cookie buyer like Carrie? Carrie is the queen of store-bought Christmas cookies.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
And they're so
300
good.
Yes, 360 days a year I buy, and the few days before Christmas I bake. Because I don't need to be eating them any other time of the year or at Christmas, but I really enjoy to bake at Christmas time. But literally, that's it. And the occasional Sam's brownie box when they just calls your name, you're like, I can make those in a few minutes. Those are delicious too.
Just light a cookie candle and buy the cookies at the store.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
That's
And
awesome.
we would think she made peanut butter cookies, right? All right, let's do a quick Christmas cookie check-in. However, Brandy, what's your favorite? What was the favorite Christmas cookie? I know you said some of them were cold because you said some of them were set outside in the car. But what's your favorite Christmas cookie?
Yeah, so she made a mud pie, which is really a no-bake peanut butter cookie. And so that was our favorite. It looks like a little pile of mud, so that's what we call them, and we still make them every year. My fave.
We're ready for some mud, Ellie. What's your favorite cookie?
Oh my, can you put that recipe in the chat down here?
I got you.
That sounds amazing. Hey, and then Carrie, you wouldn't have to cook them. You just
That's
roll
well,
them.
that's true. That's true.
But I could use some of your peanut butter, I think.
So do they have oatmeal and peanut butter?
Yes.
Okay, I know those cookies.
And melted chocolate, all bubbly, yummy.
Yum.
That's good.
Well, my little boy, my youngest is, he is gluten-free. So I have to do like gluten-free flour, but King Arthur's has a great gluten-free flour. And so we always do a massive batch of this great sugar cookie recipe. It's almost like shortbread, they're not super sweet. It's just mainly butter, and then we make that royal icing, and I actually get paintbrushes out and I make like bowls of different colors of the icing, and they kind of paint the sugar cookies, which is really fun. But my 7-year-old has also painted many a wall with icing. So it's a labor of love.
Hashtag icing on the wall.
Icing on the wall, that's right.
There's some prep. However, representing the listener that doesn't do cookies, I want Yvette to share what she's about at Christmas time for the tradition.
You
for the
probably are going to
cookie.
think that I'm weird. I am. I don't like cookies.
No, not any cookies?
No. I love salty things. I mean, cheese, charcuterie board, things like that. But no, not sweet.
More cookies for us.
I'm
I
glad.
guess.
Praise the Lord.
You like cheese and crackers. You like a good charcuterie board,
yes,
right?
I love that. So tamales, I mean, salty things, but no cookies.
Christmas
That's okay.
tamales. I like that idea. You should try my cookies because I do mine without icing, and it feels more. And then I top it with salt. So I'm kind of.
Okay.
Ooh, I like that. salt.
Okay. Well, I'll try.
And maybe a little cheese.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We'll have a cookbook done before the end of this webinar. Yvette, what kind of tradition will you share with us from your station, from your life, from your community?
Okay. Well, you mean in Christmas? We love to do the food distributions in the community during this time. We partner a lot with the different food banks, and we love not only to promote it on the air, to make sure that our people is blessed. I mean, our people in need. but also we love to be there. We love to see face-to-face people, to hand them those boxes of food and be able to hug them and to share with them a little face-to-face. So when Christmas comes, we do those food distributions. We do sometimes code distributions too, and we're part of that. And we love to help all those organizations that we partner with, those ministry partners, and so that's why we love this Christmas time, because we're able to be out in the community a lot.
That's another big blessing that our format gets to participate in. Yeah, thank you for that. Gals, we have our very own Buddy the Elf on this webinar. We know that, right? We can call her Ellie, Ellie the Elf, perhaps. And we're going to talk Christmas songs. So maybe after Ellie tells us, the Christmas song that matters the most to her this season, maybe she'll sing the songs that we love. I don't know. I didn't ask her that ahead of time, but it's all about the music, right? The music is really what combines everything we are talking about. So those nostalgic songs that we remember, and the songs that are really sweet in each season. I think each season we have a favorite, but then there's something else that really, really stands out. Ellie, you are it. You are the music that we are playing. You are singing the music that we are playing. Thank you for that. Your whole family, your whole musical family. I can only imagine what it's like at your house when everybody's over on Christmas morning singing. But what's your favorite Christmas song? What do you love hearing out of the speakers on Christian radio?
I love that so much. Okay, so I cannot, my favorite Christmas song is Oh Holy Night, which is, this like crazy, a little bit more of a somber sounding song. But it carries the thrill of hope within it. And so I love that. And I think there's this like open heartedness. Like I think of the Charlie Brown Christmas movie, and they're singing at the end, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. And so I have been, for the past few years, I've been singing Joy to the World. And I got to that line, repeat the sound and joy, repeat the sound and joy, repeat the sound and joy. I love that song, but I was like, what on earth does it mean? What does that look like for us to repeat the sounding joy? Like, what is that? What is that invitation? And as I thought about it, it started with the song that the angels sang to the shepherds, glad tidings of great joy that will be for all the people. And I think I've loved Joy to the World recently because it feels, it's the message for every single beating human heart living on the planet. And so I love the idea of being here with all of you who are repeating the sounding joy of the song that the angels sang to the shepherds all those years ago. And I just feel so grateful for it. And then Amy Grant really has sung me through all of my life, all of us, right? And then, but Christmases especially. So Tennessee Christmas is a really special song for me. I was a little baby. My dad is Brian Bannister. He produced all of Amy's first records. And so in her little Christmas sweater on that first, it's called A Christmas Album, actually. But there's Caribou Ranch, which is where they recorded the record. And in that cabin behind Amy is baby Ellie. I literally my mom was there. So fast forward from that to 8-year-old Ellie singing on background vocals on The Night Before Christmas. The night before Christmas. So there is so much of my story is woven into these Christmas songs that have been sung before us and that continue to be written. And I feel grateful to repeat the sounding joy with all of you.
What great stories. Wow. I bet I Need a Silent Night really resonates with you too, because you talk about turning off the noise.
Oh, yes, it is. I think that is one thing that it is so noisy, all the social media and everything. And so I love that a song like Silent Night, or just at 3 minutes, I've heard recently, it takes 2 to 3 seconds for something sad or traumatic or fearful to log in long-term memory. And it takes about 30 to 90 seconds for something good or beautiful or encouraging to go to long-term memory. And then you think about a song, it gives us the space to be still and to receive a message of hope. And so I just think what y'all are doing is so important.
Oh,
I think it helps quiet people down. I know you're sending out songs and messages, but I do think it kind of stills the noise and brings something true and beautiful to the forefront for people to hold on to.
so good. So good. Let's get the titles from the gals and Tyler. Just the titles of your favorite Christmas songs. What is the song that you're listening to or you can't stop listening to?
Well, I'm going to sound like a radio listener by saying this, but there's a song that I don't know who sings it. Do you ever get those phone calls? I want to hear a song, but I don't know who sings it. Anyway, it's to the tune of "Come All Ye Faithful," but he's singing "Come All You Faithless" and "Come All You Anxious," and just singing about how Jesus came for all of us. And it's just it's really an encouraging song, believe it or not. But I think it is called "Come All You Faithless." I think that's what it's called. But I love that song. It's really all the songs for me. I could listen to Christmas music all year long. I mean, I'm one of those people.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And that's something that I love about Fusion and Christmas time, because Eddie, that it's the one that is selecting the Christmas music, or music director, he made an amazing selection of songs that connect you, of course, with the Lord, with this hope, with this season, but also it's connecting us with our traditions and the music that we listened when we were little. So it's I listen 24/7, especially during this time. And one of the songs that I like, if you ask me, it's one that it's in English. I think it's "Mary, Would You Know?" Maria sabías que.
Mary, did you know? Yeah.
Mary, did you know? Oh, that song is so beautiful.
So beautiful. It's really wonderful to see how much our teams love our radio stations and how they get fed from what you're doing, as well as Ellie could probably say what it's like to be in the choir, to not only rehearse and to perform, but to see how the music fills the listener up. We don't always have that privilege because we're behind the mic. I've got a quick, fun Christmas question for you all to end with, but first I want to give one more insight. We have Brandy on, and here we are in the middle of Christmas, jingle, jingle, doing all of the things, but we still have to look ahead for after Christmas. We have to be programming and thinking about January for our listeners and how we really keep the engagement. So, what is your hope, Brandy, looking at 2026? What is your hope for your listeners as they go through this Christmas season with you? What is your hope for their new year?
Oh, so beautiful. So yeah, we want to be someplace for them to come as they are. So, when you think about our listener coming into the new year of just it's the pressure of a fresh start. So we're all happy and we're all joyous, and it's presents and tradition. And you come into that new year, and there's yeah, they're like the anticipation is gone, and there's that pressure of a new start. And so we know that, right? So in January here, we plan a morning of prayer, like a few weeks into the new year, so people can come in, pray, call in, text in. We have 30 counselors and pastors here, and 800, 900 calls and text in one morning alone. So we have a ramp up to that. We offer counseling scholarships, that messaging throughout the whole month of January, because there is that pressure of a new start. Is there something that's holding you, that's holding this, not, that relationship with Christ just isn't what you want it to be. So how can we help? And then we have a big fun, like $500 a day giveaway that we start the second week of January too. And it's got big, huge prizes, 15 days of it. It's called More Joy Every Day. Because with where they are, you do want to be a fun balance of also not so heavy, but a place where they can come find hope and encouragement and fun and joy, and a lot of giveaways in January. We did that last year, and it was a big win. So we'll do that again in January.
Yeah. It's amazing that you've already got that set up. That is such a blessing. Before
Yeah, we're
Michelle
missing
pops,
2 days. That's it. Only missing 2 days. We're already to January 30th. Yes.
This is really incredible. Michelle's going to pop up in a minute. Ellie's going to pray us out. I've got one quick Christmas question for everyone, but here is a woman who's about to, attend not only and probably take care of her Christmas party for 3 radio stations. We've got a mother on the line with a wedding in 2 days. Carrie, with all the responsibilities at her radio station, at her peanut butter company, in her house, she's also the voice of her Christmas station. Ellie Holcomb is doing this webinar from the basement of her church. Y'all have fit this in the middle of so much stuff. First, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for finding the CMB community that worthy of your really valuable time during this season. I appreciate it so much. And I know Michelle does as well. Just fun, quick Christmas question. You can take it however you want. Real or fake Christmas tree? And where you at with decorations? I don't have one thing up yet. This is it. This is my decorations. Okay. Where are you with Christmas decorations? We'll go Yvette, Carrie, Brandy, Ellie. Go ahead, Yvette.
Christmas decoration this year done very early because I said, okay, if I don't put the decoration, in time, probably I won't at all because of all the wedding arrangements and all that. So even like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, the tree was up.
Oh,
and
wow.
the decoration was
So
Okay.
real tree or fake tree?
fake tree.
Okay. Carrie, your husband's a great gift giver. I love that you
Yeah, he
shared
really
that.
is. Yeah.
That's so great to hear. And does he
He's a
put the
great
gifts
gift
under
giver.
a real or a fake Christmas tree?
So growing up, we always had a real tree. And then I met my husband. He always had a fake tree. And so we tried the real tree for a few years, but now we're down to the artificial, and we just put it up. So it was a great night. I'm so glad it's up. It's so great to drive home. And, by the time you get home now, it's dark early and you get to see the lights through the window as you get home. I love it.
How about you, Brandy? I know you've got a gingerbread man all ready to go. What about your tree?
Decorations up, fake tree up, and we do buy these little green things from Michael's that you can put up as ornaments, and it
Yes.
smell like a real tree. So fake one that smells as much as it can like a real tree because we do love that smell.
Oh, okay. That's right. You have the fake tree and you also spray your house the scent of a real tree.
Yeah, love it.
It's the best of both worlds. Ellie, you seem to know
Yes.
everything she's about.
I'm literally like, yes. I like to say we are a for real Christmas tree family. So we have a fake one now that goes up inside, and then we get a little tiny Charlie Brown one, real, that's more affordable because they were getting really expensive there for a second. And we put that up on our little side porch. And then Brandy, we get those same little green sticks and we hang them all up in the
Yes.
amazing. For real. I like it.
That's fantastic, man. I have lots of new thoughts now since I haven't decorated yet. Thank you, ladies, for everything. Thank you for everything. I'm going to invite Michelle Youngman to join us before Ellie Holcomb prays us out. Michelle, these women are incredible. Thank you for featuring these women in this
Hey,
CMB
yay.
webinar.
I,
Real,
you know,
real or fake? Yeah.
I took lots of notes because you guys are so incredible. And I think the thing that jumped out at me the most was when Ellie said that radio is hope dispensaries. What's dispensaries? Anyway, whatever the word is. Dispensary. Yeah. Anyway, I have language problems today. But anyway, I think that's so true. And at Christmas, it's more than ever. And I just have to say a big thanks to Carrie on KVNE, having that in Little Rock, Arkansas, where I live now,
Woohoo!
having 24 hours of Christmas music every day.
We
I
love
love
it.
it. I don't have to change over to my secular station in town because I get it right from KVNE. So thank you guys for all you do. Thanks for being here too. Love hearing all your great stories and traditions. What a blessing.
Merry Christmas, Michelle. Ellie Holcomb, thank you so much for joining us today. Also, Brandy and Carrie and Yvette. Ellie, would you please do us the honors?
Right before I pray, I'll just say when I brought that little baby boy that I was pregnant with when I met you, Beth, when I brought him home, he was asleep in his car seat. And so our oldest girl, she was watching a Dingo Tiger show, and it ended and she goes, wait, where's my brother? Where's my brother? And I was like, oh, he's just like hashtag second child. He's still asleep in the car seat right next to the door. And she pulled the little car seat cover back and she goes, he's so cute, he's so little, and he's alive. he's alive. And I love that story. And honestly, that is the gift that we get to celebrate. He is alive. Hope is alive in the person of Jesus. So thank you, Jesus, for each one of these women, for the way that they are building little yellow bicycles of hope and joy and truth and light to send out over radio waves, Father. I thank you for the story of Mary, that you involve women intimately in the story of Christmas and in your story now, God. I thank you for the way that she pondered these mysteries in her heart, Lord. And would we be women as we lead with all of the things that these women are carrying, their families, their work, caring for their listeners, Father, would you help us to be women who make room, who prepare room in our hearts to receive the glory and the gift and the love of the story of Christmas, Lord? Would we receive it first so that then we can go give it? And even when that's a breath moment or looking for the light moment, help us be recipients first of the story so that, and fill us up so that when we're wrung out, and we will be sometimes wrung out, Lord, that even when our mess is spilling out, that it is mixed up all with your grace and with your goodness. Thank you that we get to be the hope people, to go tell it on the mountain and in the valleys and to the ends of the earth, for the hope of Jesus. Our feet are fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. Thank you for that message, Father. Thank you that you invite us to be a part of a kingdom that is coming, to be the carriers of this story and of this message. What a gift to be a part of a bigger story than just our own. Carry each one of these women through the holidays, through the weddings, through the traditions, through the parties, and all the different things on our schedules. Would you fill each one of them with your presence? And would they be, as they encounter with all the different listeners and family members and people, would people feel that they're having an encounter with you because you're alive and well within us? You're alive. And Father, help us to be filled with that life, the life to the full in John 10:10 that Jesus comes about giving us. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for the good works you prepared ahead of time for us to do. We love you and we celebrate who you are. And we thank you for the thrill of hope that we have because of Jesus. We love you. Amen.
Amen. Merry Christmas.
Beautiful,
Merry
Allie. That was
everybody.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Thanks, everybody.